Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is one I am super excited about. I'm going to purposefully make this video really just about playing with makeup because that's what I want to do today, but also because my last video I came out with about the Organic Skin Co was just jam-packed full of information. And when I say information, I mean important information like the ethics and sustainability practices of the brand, but I really am trying to do both sides of the spectrum, one because I enjoy both, but also because I want to see how you guys react to both videos. So if you prefer one or the other, let me know. But today's video is all about how I spent $200, maybe a little more, on bareminerals products, a full face. I have wanted to try bareminerals for so freaking long, and I'm literally, this is a first impressions. I've never touched this stuff before, and I'm literally just gonna play with makeup and do a full face, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Ready? Let's go. Makeup. I am so excited. So I'm gonna just dump all this out on the floor in front of me. What did I actually spend on this? Okay, it was like $250. Usually I wait for like a sale to actually get like a full face of a product or a brand I've never tried before. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna start with this. This is the bareminerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. I'm really excited about this one. I have it in the shade Vanilla 2. I told you guys in one of my most recent videos that I've been working a ton. My day job did start back up again, and that it started in full swing. This is how much I'm starting with. This is not meant to sound braggy at all, but all my hard work did pay off, literally, and I did get a pretty significant paycheck after the really crazy stuff had passed. And now my work schedule is a little more normal, thank goodness. But because of that, I was like, I want to reward myself with something. And then I went to Ulta after all of that. I think I was stopping by for like one specific product. I'm going in with another like same sized amount. So take the amount I showed you and multiply it by 2. Okay. And then I ended up like looking through the bareminerals section. I've wanted to buy stuff from bareminerals for so long. I guess I lied. I have one liquid lipstick from them in the shade Slay. I have used it on the channel before, but that's it. And so I really have been wanting to try more from them. Okay, let me actually get you guys close. This Complexion Rescue stuff I have heard so much about. People just say it is like the dream tint product. Sorry, if my ears are really red, it's because I just did my hair, I crimped it. So just ignore that. But yeah, it's supposed to be just a really, really nice tint, and the fact that it has SPF in it is awesome. And something I'm noticing already is that it does not feel like sunscreen at all. It feels hydrating. It's funny that it mentions it's a tinted hydrating gel cream. When it comes out, it looks like any other like BB cream, but the way that it blends is really water-like. So I did get the bareminerals original foundation, the powder foundation, which I've been so amped up to try, but I did something a little weird. It sounds counterintuitive, but I got purposefully liquid highlighter and bronzer with the powder, concealer, and foundation products because although using them together is going to be a little bit more difficult, I won't use them in the same order. I'm excited about the bronzer and highlight in the liquid form because I feel like on no makeup days, I'll be able to just kind of like blend them into bare skin, and I'll be able to like add them to foundations or BB creams to make them like a little more bronzy or a little more glowy, you know? Since I did actually go with the liquid versions of these, I'm gonna start with the bronzer and the highlight on top of this little like base. I'm treating that Complexion Rescue as like a little primer. The question is, do I go in with a brush or a sponge? Probably sponge first, right? Yeah, I'll go with the sponge first. Oh, it locks. That's neat. So it has like the little locking device. Sorry, that's really exciting. That's such a little thing, but that way I know it's not gonna like spill if I have it in a purse or something. Okay, that's what it's looking like on the back of the hand. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you what shade this is. This is the shade Faux Tan. So I think what I'm gonna do, oh gosh, I'm just gonna dot it around the perimeters of the face. Maybe put a little bit on the cheek too, under the jaw. I'm gonna just start blending this stuff out with a damp sponge. I'll speed you through this part and then we'll come and talk about what I think about it.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better.
Okay, so as you guys may have seen in the little sped through version, I did actually end up getting a little bit more on the back of my hand, and then I ended up going in with this like a little dense brush. I like to use this for bronzer. I must say that I like the brush application better. It was just a lot easier to smooth, but the actual product itself is gorgeous. It's just a very realistic color. I feel like it brought a little bit of warmth to the face without being crazy. Next, I'm gonna go in with the liquid highlighter, and I might even try to just do this with my fingers or a damp sponge. This is in the shade Free. It has a little locking mechanism too. As you can see, it's pretty liquidy. It is running down the hand. I'm just gonna dab my finger in that and place it in the areas that I want the most light. I'm just using my fingers, like 2 fingers, to just tap this into the skin. It's a really, really beautiful color. Oh, I totally should have tweezed my eyebrows for this video, but it's fine. One thing that I haven't actually mentioned yet about both of these products is that they do have actual sparkle in them. I hope you can see a couple of those, and that's not just the highlighter. I should have shown you with the bronzer too. Maybe it did pick up when I was in close with the bronzer. I'm just gonna go over with the same brush again and just kind of blur the highlight and the bronzer together. I'm not always someone who minds like really glittery, sparkly stuff, and I'm not saying it's like chunky glitter. It's not. It's small glitter, but it is glitter nonetheless. I will say I think I'm gonna need a little more bronzer than this. I wasn't really thinking about that until I just said it. I am gonna put a little more bronzer on, and then we'll move into foundation. Okay, I think we're ready for foundation and concealer. I'm gonna put foundation on first just to see how much it covers. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit in the cap here, and then I'm going to use this guy right here. Nice fluffy brush, and I am just gonna swirl it around in the cap. And I'm gonna take this over one side of the face and show you guys what it looks like before moving on to the other.
Is this what you want now? Or is it because you can't forget her?
I definitely think that I'll need some concealer underneath here. It's not completely covering up like blue and purple hues, but let me get you in close. This is the side with foundation on versus the side without, so you can see there's still a ton of glitter over here. It's kind of nice that we're putting the foundation on after the bronzer and highlight. Inadvertently, it ended up being really nice because I think it covers up some of this glitter. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this foundation to the other side, and then we'll go on to concealer. Okay, I'm back, but I have an observation. So I have used a powder foundation before. My first ever clean foundation was from Alima Pure. They're like, basically it's just like this. It's just a cleaner dupe. It's their loose mineral powder foundation. And this is something that I didn't fully experience with that. So if you can see like a little patch right here that has a little more coverage or maybe is a little lighter? I have been blending that for a hot minute. I had like a good thick amount on my brush, and I just went like this kind of and started to blend it out. And it's almost like the foundation clings to where you first place it. I think the more I blend it, the more it softens. But that's really interesting to me that a powder foundation has that kind of staying power. This does make me curious though, if this foundation has that much staying power, if this powder foundation has that much staying power, I wonder if it really would move if you tried to put like creams or liquids on top of it, because some foundations don't. I actually think the Alima Pure foundation is beautiful enough that some cream products and stuff can go on top of it without moving it around. I think it really just depends on the quality. For concealer, this is where I get a little lost because I have never used a powder concealer ever in my life. I assume that a brush like this will work pretty well, right? Well, we're gonna try it. This is the shade Well Rested. Right, so they have a couple different concealer shades in the powder, really not enough, but this one specifically is also supposed to be a brightener, and I thought that it would match my tone too, so I thought that it would be really, really nice because I don't really have a brightener. I didn't mention it, but the Bare Minerals original foundation that I'm using is in Fairly Light 03. Okay, so I have a little bit on the brush, and I'm just going to carefully pat. Maybe I'll bring you in a little closer for this part. I'm gonna carefully start blending this. It does seem to be a little bit brightening. Like I feel like this side looks a little more awake than this one. Can you tell that the actual finish, like the texture of it once it's on the skin, looks really melty and pretty? It does not look like a powder. I think after this entire like base makeup is done, I'll actually spray it down and like pat it in with a damp sponge. And I would do that with like the Alima Pure foundation too anytime I'm using powders on the face a lot. But I'm gonna go and do the other eye really fast, go underneath, and then I think I'm also just going to hit like a couple little problem areas. And then we'll move on to what's next. Blush. Listen, I think I'm already anticipating that when I get older, I'm not gonna like mineral makeup as much, because I do think that some powder makeup can settle into fine lines. But I fell in love with Alima Pure products when I first tried them. They are probably what actually convinced me to keep going clean beauty. But to those people who think that powder foundations and powder products just make the face look cakey or can't look melty and blended, you're so wrong. I just love them. So now I get to kind of unveil my overall thought on the color story now that the main like base products are down. When I was buying this makeup, I thought about the fact that I really don't have a whole lot of purple hues in my collection, and I think purple hues can make brown hair and brown eyes stand out in a really, really beautiful way. But at the same time, I really wanted to try the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur collection, so I ended up getting an eyeshadow palette from them. I'll tell you which one it is in a second. But I also got the Bounce and Blur blush in Mauve Sunrise, and this is what she looks like. So obviously still a pink, but it is a very almost purpley tone. It's a little bit more of like a plum undertone than the other ones that they sell in the Bounce and Blur collection. That's the swatch of it. So it's just a little more of a true pink. I think that there's a hint of purple in there, and I just don't have another blush like this in my collection right now, and I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna go in with the brush that I usually use for blush nowadays, just this guy. A little more fluffy, a little bit bowed right at the top, and I'm just gonna dust. I don't really know how pigmented this is gonna be, so we're gonna go little bit by little bit, and I will fast forward you guys through this part so you can watch the magic happen.
Pretending it's not getting to me. It's never ending.
But that looks so natural and beautiful, and for a shade that looks this kind of punchy in the pan, it ended up just blending gorgeously. I will say that this too has some shine to it. Can you see it on? Yeah, I think that swatch catches it a little bit. It has a little bit of shimmer in it as well, but it's more of like a radiant, almost satin shimmer. But what I'm gonna do now that I have all of my base products down is I'm gonna spray it down with some of my rose water, and then take this sponge and just kind of press everything into the skin. Okay, so we are going to move into eyeshadow now, and I am actually going to start with this eyeshadow primer. It's from the Gen Nude line. It's called Bright AF. I thought it was really cool that they had these in so many shades, the eyeshadow primers. When I was in the store, there had to be like 10 of them. That's one of those things that like never existed when I was a kid, or at least I never heard about. No one used different colors of eye primer. People barely even used eye primer as it was. I'm talking like mid 2000s here. But that's one of those things that has just kind of sprung up as I started getting more and more into makeup, that I see is really a lot more common now, that I just think is really neat. Okay guys, so the eyeshadow palette that I got is the Bounce and Blur collection from Bare Minerals, and I got it in the colorway Dawn. These are the shades. So from your right to your left, the shades are Light Aurora, Pink Cloud, Misty Morning, Hazy Taupe, and Stormy Sky. I am very confused by the fact that this is called Pink Cloud because there's nothing pink about this. But you know what's really funny is this is the Dawn one. The Dusk one, I heard Kathy Reviews Beauty in one of her videos recently, when she was reviewing it a little bit, talk about how there's one in that palette called Purple Rain or something like that, and it is not even a little bit purple. Like they just, I don't know. Anyway, this is what I chose purposefully to go with a slightly more purple effect on the eye. Okay guys, so I'm just going to have a ball putting this stuff on, and I think rather than actually talking you through the eyeshadow application, I'm just gonna fast forward you through it so you can see what I did, and I'll explain what colors I used where right after really quickly, and then we can move on to the lashes and lips. I'll probably do my eyebrows off camera too. Actually, I think I'll do my eyebrows now right before I speed you through this stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna go film that and put this stuff on, speed you through it, and then I'll be right back.
You're misbehaving, yeah, it's getting to me. It's never ending. You can give anything, so you can go
All right guys, so shadow is on. Let me tell you what I actually ended up doing. I ended up taking this shade, the Pink Cloud shade, all over the lid. And then I basically used Misty Morning and Hazy Taupe, so these two shades right here. In the crease, I tried to just do Hazy Taupe, the slightly darker and more matte one, in the crease first, and then I used Misty Morning to kind of blend that out up. I kind of used that as a transition color. And then I took Stormy Sky on the outside, kind of blended it up into the crease a little bit and brought it down on the lower lash line. That's it. I didn't actually use Aurora Light, but I definitely could in the inner corner. Let me actually see what that looks like. I am so falling in love with this palette. I will say though that these are not that pigmented. I think they're just kind of meant to be foolproof, which is fine, especially when it comes to purple and pink hues. I think that's actually helping me quite a bit. Also, zero fallout. We are moving on to lashes. So I got the Bare Minerals Love Every Lash mascara. This is the micro defining mascara. There's one mascara that's supposed to be super volumizing, and I'm not one that goes for volumizing mascaras a lot. So they had that one and then they had this one. This one is supposed to be more defining and I think focus on lengthening a little bit more. And I love defined lashes and like lengthened lashes. I prioritize that over like volumizing in my like mascara collection. So this is what it looks like though, the Love Every Lash. Really clean, simple container. And then this guy has a really thin wand. So without further ado, I'm gonna just apply this and then we can decide for ourselves what we think afterward. I think it's looking really nice. It is defining. Sorry, I got some on the actual lid too. I'll fix that in a minute. From a distance, this is what we're looking like. I do think I'm gonna go in with one more coat, at least, just because this really is not super lengthening. It's a little lengthening. I don't know how I feel about this yet. Let me try another coat. Okay, so this is actually, I think, really stunning. It is just a super dry formula. I mean, I don't really feel it on the lashes that much. Also, I will say that this brush gives me the opportunity to actually use like the tip of the brush to separate out my lashes. I don't always get that with more wet formulas. Let me put mascara on the other eye and then I will be back and we can finish up with lips. Okay guys, so I actually think that this mascara is already growing on me. I will say that it is kind of fluffy looking, but I also did go like on top of the lash and then go up, like coat both sides of the lash on this eye, and I liked that effect a little bit more than this one too. I think I just have to learn how to use it. For lips, I actually got two different things, and this is not including the one liquid lip that I already had from Bare Minerals in the shade Slay. I'm not going to touch the liquid lip today, but I did get a plumping gloss from them that is in this like purpley pink hue, and then I got a Bare Minerals lipstick, just their like normal nourishing lipstick, and I got it in the shade Honesty. Again, it has a little bit of like a purple undertone to it, and I thought that it would look really nice with this. So I'm gonna swatch both of these for you on my hand and on my lips. All right, so this is the Plumping gloss on the back of my hands, and then that is Honesty. Both of these are really pretty. Both of them are things that I don't normally go for, which was kind of the whole point, right, of this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Plumping gloss on, and then I'll do the lipstick. I think I'm actually gonna wear the lipstick for the like end look, but I do want to show you what the gloss looks like on. So this is the gloss on. I think it adds like a really nice, pretty pink color. It's comfortable, but it is a little bit thicker of a gloss. It is definitely a minty kind of plumping. Like I can feel that, but it's not hot. It doesn't have like heat to it. I think it's just mint. I'm gonna let this sit on my lips for 2 seconds while I put on a little more blush, because I think that's what this look needs. And then you guys can be the judge if it actually does any kind of plumping for my lips. And then we're gonna take it off and put the lipstick on. Okay guys, so the blush is on. I do like this a little better. I feel like the look needed a little bit more of that Mauve Sunrise blush. I do think that it plumps a little bit too, but maybe it's just a placebo effect. I also forgot to mention that this lip gloss does have a little bit of like a vanilla scent to it. Actually, a pretty heavy vanilla scent. You definitely can smell it. Okay guys, so we are on to the final step, which is this lovely lipstick. I might just dab it on and see if I can't get a little bit of color without going like opaque. Let's see what comes of that.
This is what I want now. And yeah, I'm waiting for something better.
Okay, so that is the Bare Minerals lipstick in the shade Honesty, just kind of dabbed onto the lips. I am loving it. All right, so what do you guys think of this final look? Left side, right side, frontal view. I think this looks really, really pretty. It is definitely a different tone overall than what I usually go for, but I think the products themselves are absolutely gorgeous. Thank you guys so much for sitting in on this video and just letting me play with some makeup. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave if you want more of this lovely, mindful beauty and living content, those clean vibes. Thanks again for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.